Okay, so you know how everyone always wants like a crystal ball, right? Like
Mhm.
predict what the market's going to do.
Right.
Well, get this. Today we're going deep on smart money. Those investors, the big institutions, the ones with all the cash, who some traders think can actually like, I don't know, influence things.
Hmm.
We're talking with a trader, calls himself ICT, the inner circle trader, says he's figured out how they do it.
Yeah, he's got this whole power of three
Yeah.
strategy, right? Thinks these big players, they use it to, well, let's just say engineer some profitable trades for themselves.
Okay, hold on. Getting a little X-Files here, but all right, I'm listening. Big disclaimer up front, though. This is just one trader's take, not financial advice or anything. And full disclosure, we're coming at this a little,
Yeah.
yeah. The-
Good. Think of it like we're handing you the magnifying glass, showing you the tricks, but doesn't mean you should try juggling knives at home, all right?
Exactly. So ICT, he's all about those candlestick charts. You know, those bar graph things. Show you the open, the highs, the low, close, all that for the day.
Yep, candlesticks.
He thinks, and this is where it gets interesting, he thinks those candles can actually show you the footprints, like where smart money has been stepping.
Sus, it all starts with accumulation. That's stage one. Big players quietly loading up, could be going long, could be shorting, depends which way they think the market's going to swing.
So not just throwing darts blindly, huh? There's
Yeah.
like a whole plan here.
Oh, yeah, they're playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. Starts with that accumulation then. Well, ICT points to certain candlestick patterns, like, say, a stock's been doing nothing, trading in a tight range. Suddenly, bam, bullish engulfing pattern right at the bottom.
Okay.
That, he says, that could be smart money dipping their toes in, starting to build that long
I
position.
was like, what looks random, maybe it ain't so random after all. All right, so they're accumulating their shares, then what?
This is where it gets really interesting, and also where some people say, hold on a sec, ICT calls the next phase manipulation.
Manipulation.
Yeah, so they've got this big old position now, right? What they do, he says, is counterintuitive. They push the price the opposite way they actually want it to go.
Wait, so if they're like bullish long term, they'll push the price down.
No,
On purpose.
that's the theory.
Are you saying they're trying to mislead everyone else?
ICT would say, yep, that's exactly it. It's like setting a trap, right? They use their muscle, their cash, to trigger this whole wave of sell orders. And they know, because it happens over and over.
They're aiming for those stop loss orders, aren't they? The ones where it's like, if it dips below this price, sell, 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 right?
Bingo! Smart money, they know traders put those stops just under recent lows. Figure it'll hold as support. ICT says that predictability, that's what they use against everyone.
So engineer a dip, people panic, hit the sell button, and then what? Smart money, they swoop in and buy it all up cheap.
You got it.
Bang,
Create
bang.
the liquidity they need to get in at a price they like. Classic fear and greed, right?
Cold, blooded. I got to give it to ICT, this power of three thing. It
Hmm.
kind of makes a scary kind of sense.
Don't go jumping to conclusions yet. We're only on Act 2 here. The grand finale, the coup de grace, ICT calls it distribution.
Okay, all right, so lay it on me. What's the ending to this smart money movie we're watching?
Remember all those folks who sold off in the panic? The ones who got manipulated, now they're watching that stock climb right back up, thinking, I missed the bottom,
Yeah.
which
Which is exactly what smart money wants them to think.
you got it. They've created their own pool of buyers ready to go.
So they ride that wave up, selling into it, into the frenzy they caused. Talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy, geez, that is something else.
Compelling, isn't it? And look, some traders, they swear they've seen this play out time and time again.
It's like one of those magic tricks once you know how it's done. But before we go full conspiracy theorist here, let's, how do we say this nicely? Inject a healthy dose of reality, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Markets are complicated. To say it's all some big plan, well, humans are involved, even if they are managing tons of money, gets messy.
Okay, so this ICT power of three starting to feel less like a trading strategy, more like, I don't know, a movie plot or something?
Bit of a simplification, yeah. Markets, they're not exactly known for being simple.
Right, like we're talking about
Yep.
people, right? Even if they are the ones with billions of dollars, they're still gonna, you know.
Make irrational choices sometimes, absolutely. ICT's whole thing, it hinges on spotting those candlestick patterns. And don't get me wrong, they can be useful, but
But they're not like a crystal ball either.
exactly. Sometimes a bearish engulfing pattern, it's just that, a pattern, not some secret message from on high.
So hold on, so you're saying like just because a stock dips after a rally doesn't mean it's some smart money scheme?
Not necessarily. Could be sentiment, could be news, could be plain old.
Randomness, right? The market does that.
Exactly. Gotta look at the whole picture. It doesn't always fit neatly into the power of three box.
Okay, so maybe we shouldn't chuck our whole strategy yet.
Yeah.
But even if this ICT guy's not giving away the secrets to the universe, there's got to be something to this, right? This whole idea.
Oh, absolutely. See, even if you don't buy the whole manipulation angle, ICT's on to something important. Trading. A lot of it's psychological.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, even the pros, they get caught up in the fear, the greed.
Right, and understanding that, how those emotions, they drive decisions, yours and everyone else's, that's huge.
So it's less about outsmarting some shadowy cabal, more like not getting played yourself.
Now you're getting it. Say you see a stock tanking right after it's doing great. First instinct, a lot of people panic, sell, especially.
Especially if you've got that stop loss right below, like if it hits this, get me out.
And who's to say that drop wasn't, intentional to trigger those exact stops, even if you can't prove it, just knowing it's possible.
Makes you think twice.
Exactly. Maybe give yourself some breathing room. Don't make it easy for the smart money, quote unquote, to take you out.
I like that. Don't be the easiest target.
Yeah.
But like, how can we really know if it's happening
Right.
unless we're like spying on these big firms?
Yeah. It's tough. Was that price drop just the market being the market, or did someone make it happen? Almost impossible to say for sure.
So where does that leave us? If we can't prove it, can't disprove it, what are people supposed to take away from all this?
Takeaway, I'd say this. Even if you don't think ICT's got it all figured out, his perspective, it's a good reminder, market's not always what it seems.
There's stuff going on under the surface.
Exactly. You understand those forces, the ones you can see, the ones you can't. You make smarter choices, manage your risk, and hopefully you come out ahead.
Right. It's all about the long game anyway.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So for someone listening who's thinking, all right, I'm putting on my detective hat, time to find these smart money masterminds,
Yeah.
where do they even start?
I wouldn't recommend trying to catch anyone red-handed. Trying to figure out the why behind every little price move, that's a recipe for madness. Focus on the concepts.
Less about finding the villain, more about not getting caught in the trap.
There you go. Start with those price levels. Where do you think all those stop-loss orders are going to be?
Like round numbers, right? Support and resistance, those levels where it just feels like the price should bounce.
Exactly. And if ICT is right, even a little bit, those are the levels smart money they might target. Trigger that avalanche.
So instead of putting your stop right there, like a sitting duck,
Give yourself some space, widen that stop, or hey, try something totally different. Doesn't have to be all about those technical levels.
don't give them the easy win, right?
Yeah.
Love it. It's like we're learning to think like, well, whoever's on the other side of the trade, even if we don't know who it is.
Thinking a few steps ahead. Anticipating. That's how you win at chess. Right. And the market, it's a chess game too.
Even if it turns out the market is just random, this whole what-if exercise.
It'll make you a better trader. Guaranteed.
So, like, if this smart money thing is happening all the time, wouldn't people catch on? Wouldn't it stop working?
You'd think so, right? That's what makes the market so interesting, is always changing. You figure out one move.
They come up with a new one.
Exactly. It's not about memorizing a playbook. It's more understanding how the other side thinks.
So less about predicting the exact pattern, more about, like, the bigger picture.
Right. Put yourself in their shoes. If you were a big institution wanted to make a move, how would you do it? A little paranoia, it's not always a bad thing.
Okay, interesting. So for all the listeners out there, if they only remember one thing from all of this, what should it be?
Remember, the market, it's not always logical. Emotions matter. And sometimes those emotions, they can be, how do we say this? Used.
People can be manipulated.
Yeah, and just knowing that, even if you don't agree with everything ICT says, it makes you a smarter trader.
It's like we're pulling back the curtain, right?
Yeah.
Seeing how the whole thing works.
But even when you know, it's still impressive.
Exactly. Okay, so to wrap things up for everyone listening, next time you're looking at a chart, don't just see the lines, the candlesticks. Try to see the game.
See the psychology. You'll be surprised what you notice.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll start hearing those smart money whispers. That's all the time we've got for today, but the conversation, it doesn't have to end here. Keep those trading minds sharp, folks. Until next time.